Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 73 of On the Backs of Gods. I'm your DM, Jillian, and today we have most of our players. Same as always, we have Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo. Now, before I jump into things, it's the holiday season, and we have some very talented people here at the Dice Cult. Mac, how about you take over for me?
Oh, I would love to. So recently it was my birthday, but I only say that because my darling spouse purchased for me a wonderful little poured resin dragon dice buddy from our good friend Katie of Dragon Ink Dice. This is a little cutie right here. Holds. Oh, geez. I can't get it into the right focus on the page. Here we go.
Imagine. Put your imagination
Beautiful.
into it.
It just puts your imagination to work right here. You can hold two d20s right here in him little tail area, twixt his tail and his wing. Beautiful little full roundabout sculpt. And just the shine on this thing, I knew I had to have it the second I saw it. Katie does fantastic work, pours dice for us here at the Dice Cult, and also makes wonderful accessories such as these. You can find her at Dragon Ink Dice what was it? BigCartel.com. And if let me see, we've got if you wanted to get a better look than my dumb ass can show you on webcam, that is the product link to the page that was used in order to sell my dragon there, and that is our good Katie's shop link in general. Just go to that home, shop around, see what dice sets you might like, what accessories, and give us some business for the holiday season. You got some nerds in your family, I'm sure. Give them a couple nice little things. I'm sure they'll enjoy them.
Or self-indulgence. You know, we're not here to judge anybody.
Oh, hell yeah. Self-indulgence all the way, baby. Like, I recommended this to my family. Like, y'all want to give me a thing? Give me this.
Perfect. We love getting to shout Katie out.
We do.
Because very talented, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, gotta love the dice. A lot of us have a set of dice made by Katie, so.
It's true. It's true. I have not yet decided on a name for this baby, but when I do, y'all will be the first to know. Katie will be the first to know, then y'all.
First Katie private message. Here's the name of this dragon. So, anyways, happy to do the shout out. I'm going to go ahead and jump in to a nice description of what happened last time to the best of my ability. And then I think we'll just jump straight into it. I did not start any of my sounds like a monster. Gross.
A monster?
Who doesn't turn their sounds on before going? So, last session, you all had made your way into the woods looking for a medicine woman to cure Nana's illness, which was something akin to terrible worms made of corruption setting up nest inside of her heart. Just chill.
Not a fan.
You found this medicine woman who ended up being another worshiper of Lady Seidr, the first one that Saga has ever found. Interesting views on the world and its peoples, especially about 50% of them peoples. But we're not here to judge anybody.
I mean, if we're considering
I'm not here to tell her what to do.
We're going outside the binary, we haven't asked her opinion, and we can't anymore.
That's true.
So.
No opinion about non-binary peoples, only specifically men. They can't come in her house. But that's all right. It all works out. You go on a mission to find some supplies to help her save Nana. Fighting a terrible frog behemoth and a bunch of other large frogs, catching a will-o-wisp alive, and getting out of this with a nice few new items in hand. You all head back to her place, give her the supplies, try to sneak Roshan in, even though she's kind of met Roshan and already on edge. So sadly, not getting in this time. Maybe for the best, who knows.
But we should save that costume set for next time we need to hide Roshan.
So there is a a grinding of things montage. The medicines are made, these potions are made. Saga picks up on what one of them does and can remember it for later. The surgery starts, the ritual, where this old woman, Nira, has made it so that her fingers are ethereal and that she can reach into Nana's heart physically and has the ability to pull out the corrupted worms, which takes a while, but eventually Nana is clean. No more worms inside of her heart, making her have to live a mundane life, which it seems she'd rather die than do. At this point, after the ritual is complete, Nira realizes that that was the end of the prophecy that she was given many, many years ago and was unable to complete. Encouraged by Saga, she takes her drops, realizes there's only enough left for one prophecy. She's at the end of her vial. Both Nira and Saga incredibly excited. She puts the drops into her eyes, and once having her vision begins to panic and begins to scream no. During this panic, there are wild surges to be had, and Nira takes the empty vial and swallows it. This just leads to a terrible light show where Nira's body begins to grow bone-like coral that protrudes out and eventually encompasses her. But while this is happening, a beautiful unicorn is brought into existence outside because of wild magic. One of the good things that came from this. Saga, using a very powerful spell and a nat 20, explodes this coral off of Nira. And instead of an old woman beneath, there is a smiling young woman who warns Saga of the future that she will have somebody attempt to lead her astray and that she has to stay with Lady Seidr. And quickly as that, burns her house to the ground and walks on out with one bag in hand, ready to go find the two other Seidr worshippers she had met a very, very long time ago. Everybody had evacuated the house that was inside. The party now stands outside. Gorbjorn atop the unicorn, Saga up there with him, watching this house burn to the ground. And to start this off, Saga, I would love an insight check with advantage. And we're in it, boys.
Alrighty.
Starting it off with a nice insight check.
You said advantage, right?
I did.
Well, it's a nat 20.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Does she get to mark again? No, I don't.
No, that's not how bingo works. We're playing a game of bingo. You go to our Instagram, figure out what that's about. Anywho, Saga, there is a lot of emotions happening just with you alone. Trying to take that all into account, watching this house burn to the ground, the events that took place, sitting atop a unicorn. It is just the parallels of the existence around you. But you look to Nira, who is currently on her way out, and her body slowly begins to phase out of existence and turning invisible. You can hear the crunch of her feet on the ground. And she looks back to you one last time, taking you in. The smile has not dropped from her face once during this. There is still the obvious, incredible excitement. And in that excitement, there's just a familiarity. There's a familiarity in her smile, the excitement in her eyes, and what you can only describe as something manic, that she is pushed forward with such extreme need and incitement. It is just bordering on unsettling. And when you look at her, it's as if you're looking at a child. The giddiness, sort of this look of wonder in the eyes, something new. There's recognition when she looks at you, though. You are fully convinced that at least the very beginning of her prophecy was burning this house to the ground. That was not a personal choice. And you can tell it wasn't. The way she skipped around the room, the way she didn't even have to think about it, this was the first step on her journey, which she's doing again. And you wonder how many agains could Nira possibly have? And then that kind of lens turns inwards and then gets a bit scary, and then turns outwards towards the unicorn a bit, who's just standing there majestically looking at the fire. It just like makes the eyes sparkle, and there's like at the ends of the mane which flow, there's like little sparkles that trail off, and it's just standing there majestically. And your eyes go back to Nira real fast. And she fully disappears from view. And then there's no more crunching of like grass and soil underfoot. She is no longer physically there in some way, or at least no longer making contact with the ground, but you know she's going off to do what she has to do. And that's where all of you are, standing in front of this woman's burning house at night in the middle of the woods. There's a unicorn, by all means.
So would I have a moment to use my wolf eyes to see if she has like any weird like magical crying like Saga's eyes?
Ooh, sure. You watch her walk out and you're just like, nah, bonk. Go ahead and just roll me perception really quick, just to have caught her.
21.
Oh,
ooh, damn.
She kind of just like snuck out the side and started walking. There's no hesitation, but you're just like, and focus. There's a slight flash across the eyes. Oddly enough, what you were expecting to see is not present. Her eyes are perfectly clear, but there is a dense bit of magic glow coming from her chest. And then you actually can watch her walk away. The second she leaves Saga's view, she's still in yours until she gets out of range.
I'm letting her go. Kind of thing.
Yeah, you just watch her leave.
I'm on a unicorn. I don't got time
like,
to chase
first
women
off,
I'm on
around.
a horse.
Yeah.
No.
And this unicorn's just standing there, unbothered by the fire and everybody running around, just standing there. What would you guys like to do?
Obviously, I was out for a while, but when did the unicorn get here?
Recently, very recently. Nonna, here you go. I knew I wouldn't need to send these. Here are your letters back. Let's not have any situation that requires me to hold your postage anymore. I hope you're feeling better.
Much better, yes. Little bit sore still, but that feels like it'll clear up after a good night's sleep.
While this is happening, Roshan wanted to cast Detect Magic again to see if the strong source of magic was still in the house.
Okay, you get as close as you can to the fire, which is close enough to not lose eyebrows. You detect magic, eyes going dark as you scan the house. Oh, there's some magic. And you just hear the sound of glass exploding in high heat, and then that light is gone. And then you just, as each of these jars go up, whatever was inside of them starts just lacking magic and ceasing to be. The magic was whatever was in a lot of those jars.
This looks like the coolest fire to go over.
This shit, my dudes.
I'm on a unicorn. I'm tripping balls. Like,
He's like, it's like fireworks inside. Amazing.
Neat.
I think Saga kind of just watched Nira go and nodded to herself, like recognizing like what she was feeling, and then just leaned forward and hugged the unicorn, and then just watched the fire. It's got a lot to think about. It's been a day.
Nana would like to kind of step over and kind of set a hand on, I guess, Saga's shin. I don't know how tall exactly a unicorn is. I'm guessing about horse height.
It is about horse height.
Nana will look up at Saga, just say, I can't thank you enough. Saga, you've worked a miracle today. Thank you. But are you all right?
I'm fine. I think I just have a lot to process.
Of course.
Yeah.
Your words didn't come through for that one.
I can't hear
Sorry.
you.
Saga leans slightly.
I was like
It's a little-
turning my volume up. Like, what the heck?
Sorry.
Hello?
Little bit of that. Sorry. If you need anything, any to listen or anything else, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, thank you. I think that I just really need to talk to myself, you know? And Lady Seidr. I don't know. I appreciate the offer, but I don't know if you can help. Like, mind stuff, you know?
Naturally. But, if there's anything exterior to the prayer, I'm happy to provide, if I can.
Thank you.
You're a good and true friend, Saga. And, obviously, well loved of your lady.
Oh, thank you. Are you feeling better? Are you sore?
Only a little. Not exactly sure what happened, but I certainly don't feel as bad as I was before.
That's good. That's good.
There's the shrill sound of overheating wood, and then a snap as the roof gives in.
Ooh! Let's all back away just a bit. Just on the off chance any of us singes an eyebrow or some such.
I just cleaned that roof.
I know. Consider it... Oh, I don't know. Does Lady Seidr do penance things, Saga? Consider it penance for the eye drop thing. I don't know.
Saga kind of just looks back and is like, I just made that friend.
Oh,
She's just
oh no!
got
Did
into
she
it.
say that out loud?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Now Fen feels real bad about himself.
Oh, Saga.
I got a lot
I
going
know,
on.
I
I'm
know.
not ready for jokes.
I know,
I'm
I
not
know.
ready. I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Saga, chances are good you'll see her again.
Well, yeah, I think I will, and I'll see the other two.
Your
I
lady
think I'll
was
see her again,
directing...
and I might not remember. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not, but so long as you're with us, we'll be here to remind you. All
Yeah, I
right?
think it's more complicated than that, Nana.
Is it? Well, whatever we can do, we will.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Come on. Let's make camp somewhere. Perhaps not right next to the large burning cabin. Chances are good it's going to draw every creature in the vicinity of these woods for miles.
Big frog hemoth slowly rising in the back.
God damn it!
You guys dealt with it. So let's talk some mechanical stuff real quick as you all start to make your way away.
I would hope I can walk without, dying now.
Yeah. Well, you can always walk. You're just an overachiever who wants to run around and fight things.
I am an overachiever.
never
Can
did.
I overachieve now without dying?
I can't promise that either.
Well,
but
that's also true.
you can attempt.
I can attempt.
Player
I
takes the
love-
mobile feat. DM gives them heartworms so they can't move at a
Oh, it's a
fast pace.
shame that you can't move that fast. Oh no. Saga, you feel that normally when you summon something on accident with wild magic, that it leaves. That's just how things worked. Always. There is a chance given where this unicorn seems bonded to this horrible event it experienced with you and isn't sure it can go back home yet, is the thing. So, first and foremost, this guy can understand one language you know. Which one would you like it to be?
Oh,
Loxodon.
I was just thinking that.
that is a very good idea.
I know, right?
Nobody else could talk to your horse then, and then you'd have full control over the horse.
You're the
Unicorn,
only one who
my
can
bad.
tell that horse what to do.
What do you think?
Either Loxodon or Gnomish, I think. Oh, I don't... Gnomish would be fun. Have we ever met any gnomes? We've never met any gnomes, have we?
You've met one gnome, but he was an asshole to you guys.
Oh, well then. Then it's definitely Loxodon, because the Loxodon were very nice to us.
All right. This unicorn fully understands Loxodon, especially you, Saga. Fully understand. Now, I'm just going to explain this as mechanics DM talk real fast. I am giving you the ability to get the Find Steed spell.
Oh.
But you currently can't change your spells. So, at this point in time, he stays. The unicorn is present. If something happens, you cannot summon it back until you change your spells.
Okay.
And then
That
you'd have
is
to
next
put it
time we
away.
level up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
okay.
but you can tell that this is like a fey being of some sort, and that death means nothing. Death is nothing for this unicorn, because you can tell, you're like, I know it's not a unicorn, it just looked like one, and that's enough for me. So basically, it has the stats of horse. It is a riding horse. And it just has a non-useful pretty horn, and it's happy to help where it can.
Well,
So,
if it's a creature of Lady Seidr, they just die and get reborn apparently all the time. So, it's
Saga starts disassociating again on the unicorn. Okay. Just wanted to give you the mechanics on that. So basically,
Love
if
it.
something happens to your horse, you'll have to wait to get it back. But
Okay.
you can make it disappear if you'd like to as well, and then have to wait. But you're good for now. You all start to make your way away. It is currently sundown. How far are you going, and how long?
Well,
How far was it back to the village?
several hours. Like
you
a half
get
a
back
day.
at like sunrise. If you tried to go
okay.
back to the village, it'd be or close to sunrise.
Well, we're not sleeping in the forest.
Well, within the moat.
Well, isn't there a lot of will-o-wisps around here? Don't we want to move away a little bit?
They shouldn't be able to get into the bubble.
Precisely.
Yes. Let's just avoid the swamp water. Yes.
I'm certain that Fen and I can stake us out as safe a place to camp as we possibly can find.
We can look, but Nana, you do need to rest tonight.
I will. I'm going
Honestly, I need to rest tonight as well. So,
I'm well aware you do.
So you guys are going to stay in the woods, but you're going to bubble up and you're going to try and find what feels like the safest spot you can within an hour.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe the giant fire is pretty safe? Like, are there gonna be predators coming to eat us at a fire? Like, it's really warm.
It might be safest here. Nero existed here for who knows how long. Whatever. Maybe she's got some sort of magical lines that she's put in place to keep harmful or malevolent creatures away.
Examine that in near dark, inside of an hour.
House or walking, I need confirmation on one of them.
House, I guess.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we'll be able to see things coming. All right.
Roshan, is it possible for you to let Toll know that we'll be back in the morning?
Yeah, I can let him know that.
Thank you.
Are you gonna do sending?
That's a lie. I'm out of spell slots.
Oh no! What about Tordrak?
Oh no, one of y'all's gotta be Tordrak today.
Oh,
Or
right.
he goes into the void. These are the rules. Tordrak's watching this fire, and he seems very perturbed by the whole event in general.
That makes
He
sense.
came in not liking Nira at the beginning, and I think this is just a lot to behold for him. Just watching this house burn.
That's
I don't think he
Tordrak
came
has-
out of it liking her either.
yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it just
probably
kind of
not.
got worse, maybe.
But on the
but-
plus side, a team member did not die, so there's,
He does have the sending spell. I know that. Does he have a slot for it?
He has
It
2
looks like
third
it,
levels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could send him a message. Hey, Ptolemaeus. Currently standing at a house fire in the woods. See you in the morning. Was that good?
P.S. Nana's fine.
And like, if that fits, it's either like P.S. Nothing. P.S.
Also, Nana.
He waits a moment for a reply. I do not how are you doing this? That I can hear you when you
We've really
I don't
got to
really
establish
I
with
know
our
it's you
friend-
and like kind of rambles like that for a moment and then gets cut off. You heard me.
Great.
Thank you, Tordrak.
Wonderful, Tordrak.
We certainly
I'm
appreciate
certain
it.
Absolutely everything was communicated that needed to be.
I think so.
I'm positive. I have a good feeling.
I mean, he said it all out loud. He said his message out loud.
Mhm.
All right.
But we didn't get to hear Ptolemaeus' reply.
No, you
so
did not hear Ptolemaeus' reply. He just said that he heard him.
We're positive that everything's good.
So, Roshan, do you have enough spell slot for the bubble?
It's a ritual, so
Oh, then
you
what?
cast it.
Aha!
Yeah, fine.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
Thank God for that.
Suck it, Jillian.
Suck it.
Nerd. Bubble. All of you are inside. Sadly, the unicorn cannot come inside.
No.
So it just sort of stands on the outside, silhouetted by fire.
Jesus.
It's got Thick Biscuit to keep him company, right?
No,
No,
Thick
we didn't
Biscuit's
take the
in
card.
town.
Oh.
Biscuit back at town.
It is just the unicorn standing alone, majestic.
Mm.
Well, Saga will stand with him for whatever time she doesn't need to stand in the bubble to activate it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're
Maybe
allowed to,
keep-
yeah, once it's activated, you can walk out and go
Yeah.
about your life. You can hang out with the unicorn who seems to like you a lot and seems to like it listens and understands.
Good. Yes, thank you. Once evening comes around, I think Saga's gonna do some praying, but if anybody's busy about doing things before that, you go ahead or just let us do that later.
Well, if it helps you, it's evening.
Well, yeah, I know.
So if there's anything else you guys wanted to do before laying down, or it's like, okay, well, that was a day. Good night, everybody. And then
if someone can give me 4 hours, I'll take the rest of the watches after that.
I'll give him 4 hours.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll do before Fen starts his meditation is he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on Gorbjorn, Saga, and Nana in case any of them need it.
Sure, I'll take it.
All right. You want a bunch of different rolls for how much they get back, or
Actually,
Nah,
here,
give
wait.
him one solid one, because it's
All right.
gonna be maybe
Oh,
full
okay.
unless tonight sucks.
I'm at full HP.
Yeah, I
Oh,
healed
okay.
myself,
I was
and I
gonna
think I healed everybody at little
all right.
bit.
If anybody
did.
needs healing,
I need it and Torgic needs it.
okay,
So
yeah.
they'll take
So
it.
Gorbjorn and Tordrick and Roshan too, because Roshan he got stuck in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Get the wings out.
He got KO'd for a hot moment.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he
All right.
did. He did.
So that's 6 points back to them. Not much, but it's honest work.
More than 0.
Yeah, that's a whole 12 points in Barbarian.
Very true.
Yeah.
Everybody settles in whatever way that may be. Yes, Nana?
Only thing Nana's doing before she actually lays down to sleep is writing some more letters, just follow-ups to her previous ones, and then she turns in for the night, unless anybody talks to her.
Yeah, it is getting late, and like the longer and longer you guys wait, the longer you will have to be, out in these woods and possibly without a bubble. So
Don't want to do that.
Yes.
I'll take the first 2 hours of the watch. So then Gorbjorn's not doing 4 because you still need 8 hours of sleep, right? So
You'll spread it out amongst you guys. And listen, you guys will figure it out. There's the morning where you just make breakfast and stare into the void. But Saga, you take the first 2 hours.
yes. And during that, I think I'm going to need to talk to Lady Seidr.
Okay.
We have some discussions that we need to have. I'm guessing the fire is still going.
Yeah, you guys haven't been doing too much for too long. The fire still goes.
I'm going to take Rosebud? I think that's
Rose
what?
petals.
Rose petal.
Rose Petal. Okay. I'm gonna take Rose Petal with me. We're gonna go to like the other side of the fire, just so like we're out of everybody's, like we're just on the other side of the house. I'm just gonna kind of talk to him a little bit first. Just be like, I won't do this in Loxodon, just so everybody else can know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Only understand Lexodon anyways.
Yeah. Just gonna, hey, I'm guessing Lady Seidr sent you to, like, help out with everything and give me... Maybe she knows that I've been feeling a little lonely lately, and I was hoping that Nero would be a bit of a friend, but I guess you're here for that, but, it's really good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything. I'm not saying that it's, like, one or the other, but I'm just kind of talking. Hopefully since, you're here, maybe we can... I don't know. Maybe I can tell you things. Do you remember things? Then, like, if I tell you things, you remember them for me?
Rose Petal looks to you and sort of like nods at you. You see that like communication fully is a little weird, but fully understands you and can like respond in a way that's like understanding to you. Like a twin language, but less detailed.
Yeah.
And more
Get the
elephant.
feelings.
A lot of elephant noises, to be honest.
I think horses would be pretty good at Loxodon. They make those noises.
Perfect. 10 out of 10. Continue.
It works. Okay.
It just works.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to join me or anything or whatever, but I'm gonna talk to Lady Seidr. I think it'd be nice if you came too. Okay. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why. I'm gonna cast... I gotta cast a spell, because that's how it goes. I'm gonna cast Heroism on myself.
Okay.
That's a first level spell.
Cool. Go ahead and roll for me.
Got a 6 on the dice, so I think we're good there.
Yeah.
Because I've surged enough times, or I think I'm at
Yeah, you
1.
searched a lot. So now you're at like is where we are.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at 2 now. Did I use all the Tides of Chaos? Did you use all the Tides of Chaos Wild Magic Surges, or am I...
Yes. I used all the ones that you gave to me, I used them.
Okay, so I'm back at full for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I need to. Good to know. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of give myself a little pat. Feel a little stronger, feel a little more grounded. And then I'm gonna... Okay. You tell me this is okay. I'm gonna do a weird thing.
Okay.
I want to take my staff. I haven't used any charges today other than for fog cloud one time. But I think I want to walk into the fire, and I'm going to cast wall of ice around myself.
Don't immolate yourself, Saga.
Go ahead and check that bamboozle the DM box.
Yeah.
This is 50-50 on if it's a bamboozle. It's more of me. I'm pondering. I like the sentiment. It's a very powerful spell to use.
It's a 6th level spell, so
Yeah.
it's very, very,
It's a very
powerful.
powerful spell. So, first,
And I mean, normally it's 100 feet of ice, so I could layer it around itself a little bit, because I'm small, so I might just, like, loop it, so I have some time for it to
Spiral it out.
slowly melt.
okay, so your game plan is to get into the fire kind of while casting this and create sort of a cocoon of ice for yourself.
Like a little hallway of ice, and then, like, kind of a dome at the end.
Like a thermometer shape.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. You may do that.
Wonderful.
It might be a little loud, but a lot of this house is down a bit. So I think it's kind of doable. You could find a place where the wall is already kind of broken open and start there.
I
Perfect.
love the mental image of this.
And then, Rose Petal, you can come or not. It's gonna be a little weird, but you thought the fire was cool earlier, so we're just gonna go in. And then take my staff and just kind of start swirling it around in circles, and as I walk forward, it, like, forms underneath me with my each step. And
Yep.
move in. The fire.
This is very
Until I'm-
Elsa.
Thank you.
Here I come.
Then once I'm inside and I'm kind of watching it around, because I'm guessing the heat kind of makes it so the ice is, like, see-through.
Yeah, you hold out your staff and step inwards, and when your foot touches the first area of embers, that is where the ice begins to form and sort of kind of, it knows it does not have to be as powerful as it normally is, and knows that it can be melded a bit. And it's doing this for you as it grows from your footsteps and up and around you. You are able to walk in, and it starts out pretty thick. And as the fire does begin to melt it, there's just like a low kind of ambient like sound of like gentle hisses and pops, and the sound of water slashing against fire and sizzling away, and just the gentle sound of ice, the beautiful sound of ice screaming just ever so slightly.
Yes.
But it is surrounded by the sound of wood burning, and it kind of begins to muffle that sound out, this cocoon that you've made for yourself. And you walk through this tunnel and you enter into the dome section, and the lights dance around in here because of the flames, and you are tinted orange in this space. Rose Petal has done its best to like maneuver its way in, and stands in the hallway portion, and watches you. And you are just in this new space, this space where you are alone and not, and the world around you is canceled out. What would you like to do?
Lady Seidr? Kind of alone now. I mean, and Rose Petal's here, but you sent him, so I think that's okay. I know you sent Nira. And she finished her prophecy, and I'm very, very glad I could help her out with that. But I'm sorry, I just really, really need to talk to you, and I know that you're very busy, but I don't feel good. I don't really feel very good, and I know you tell me to just, that I should just be okay and continue, and Nira did say that I just need to trust the prophecy, and I know and I understand the prophecy is always right. It's just some of the things that she said, I don't really like it. Kind of scare me a little bit. And I really like these people that I'm traveling with. And it seems like she forgot a lot about what her travels were like. And then when I don't know if this is right, but it seems like when she woke up, she didn't really remember the same way. Like when I woke up, you kind of see it in her eyes and everything. I'm okay with helping. I really do want to, and I want to help you any way I can. I don't think I want to do it that way. If maybe you can just make it so that doesn't happen. To me, maybe, I don't know. I don't mean to be difficult. And I think I have to tell you a little bit about this other person that I met who but I don't want to overwhelm you.
You are bathed in orange, in the shadows of the fire that dance around you. The ice is like a stained glass window. And then a large shadow moves out of the corner of your eye, moving through the fire behind the ice. And you just catch the final just edges of it, just thin, flowing, sort of tendril-esque things that extend past. And it moves around you in a circle, a shadow on the other side of the glass, and stops in front of you. You are separated by the wall of ice. And you see what you can only describe as the shape of your lady, as if she is swimming, as if you have brought yourself to the ocean and are here with her. And she stands before you, slightly above you, her feet not touching the ground where you'd imagine it. And she watches. You can see Rose Petal behind you kind of bow their head a bit, almost a sign of reverence. Sorrow, daughter. And it kind of echoes very softly in this like cavern you've made for yourself. I do not understand why you are sad. I don't understand. I think you might be muted.
Yes, I apologize.
Leans forward a bit.
Sorry about that. I was just really surprised. Um, um, I, it's everything is going well. It's not like I'm not saying that you've done anything, or it's just I'm thinking about the future, like the prophecies. I've met some people and I really like them, and I don't want to leave them, and I don't want to forget them. I don't want to start over like Nira did.
And she exhales. And you watch all of the fire bend away from her and then lean back in. Sorry, daughter. I gave her the option. She chose to continue. And she moves, and where she swims, that section of fire dies out beneath her. Oh, sorry, daughter. She was shown all of the terrible things that the world had given her. I gave them back. She had finished. And I presented the option to keep or to continue. You saw how sad she was.
Do you mean that? Is this about what happened before? Like, before she became your daughter? And before I did? Like, do you mean that when I'm finished that you'll show me what I forgot about?
It hurts me so terribly to do, but I will. I have every time, and they have all asked to continue.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to want to. You've done everything for me, and I love you, and I love the life that I have with my friends. I met someone called the Uproar, and she told me that you took things from me, and I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
The shadow moves quickly, and the shape of a hand presses hard against the dome around you. Slender, feminine. And you can see that the ice begins to melt where it touches. And then it pulls back. And you can see that that spot is now just a bit closer to where these fires are. Sorry, daughter, you spoke to a demon, a monster, an evil thing. It tried to trick you, to confuse you. Look what it is doing. You are questioning too much, and it hurts. It hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just think it hurts to not know as well, though. It's hard because I know I was tricked, but sometimes I feel like I wouldn't be tricked as much if I knew more. Maybe if I knew what I didn't know, I don't know. Maybe if I knew that I wouldn't, then I wouldn't have that. I'm not sure.
The shadow moves slowly around the bubble. Roll insight.
Okay. Do I happen to be proficient in it yet?
No, not yet.
I'm gonna use my Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
It will be okay. Okay, good. It was a 3 and a 13, so it's a 14.
Okay. It could just be the way it's presenting, but there is a change in mannerism. It's more predatory. As if now a bit more, I wouldn't say hostile, that's not the case. But you are now being watched very intently.
It's being inquisitive.
It slowly makes its way around watching you. Saga got there. You are correct. I saved you. I have given you everything. You had a choice, as everyone has. And you chose me. And you chose to continue. That was your choice. You must follow through.
Don't mean to be disrespectful. Is it... Is it still my choice if I don't remember choosing?
Ungrateful. I took on all of your sorrow and gave you everything you asked for. And in return, I asked for service. And you gave me that, and now you question. I gave you gifts, and now you question. You made a choice, memory or not. And when you make your choice again, I will remind you of that choice. And the movement stops and becomes a bit more soft, more stagnant. Saw her daughter. You are being tested by the world. None of the others had to experience what you have with demons and gods seeking to manipulate. You are being tested. We shall succeed, you and I. We are stronger than any god, any beast. We are more powerful than them. Our strength, who we are today, not who we were. Who we were was weak. Look at you now. And she gestures around at this ice dome fighting off a house fire. You would have never been able to. And you're so powerful. You were attacked by that demon, and you destroyed it because of how strong you are, because of how strong we are. Do you understand? This is the only way for us to be strong. We push forward. We push forward because what we left is not worth it. It never will be. And you knew that a long time ago.
I know I'm strong. I don't know what I was, though. Can you show me one thing? Just one thing, so I can compare, so I know what it was that I didn't, that I ran away from. I didn't want, that you took. Just one little tiny thing. So I have some context. So I can know that what I fight for is true. So I know that as I continue that this is what I'm trying to avoid. It'll make me stronger, I think. You know?
You watch the head loll. There's a gentle shake, and the hand rises. It presses against the ice. Why would you want that? And begins to push against the ice. And you watch this section begin to melt as well. You want to remember what you were so eager to leave. Is that what you want? And you hear the ice snap where the hand is. Tell me if that's what you want, Sorrow Daughter.
Yes, I think so. Yes, no, I know. Yep.
And you watch snap, snap, snap as the ice around her hand begins to give way. And it is a flood of water that hits you, and you are fully submerged. And you're alone in the dark. And the most beautiful sensation hits you. For a moment, it is a deep, unwavering happiness. So pure, and just every cell of your body hums. And then, as if gripped tightly at your core, that sensation is pulled from you. And you miss the sensation so terribly. And you feel yourself on your knees. And you can just hear yourself wailing. And the sounds of crying echo around you. And no one is there. No one can help. And you're so tired. You feel so lonely. The worst loneliness you have ever felt. And this deep ache inside of you. And then you remember standing and walking, walking, walking. And then you can feel yourself, who you are now, slowly move into you, replaced by the lady's light and her energy. And it takes that gripping, unending darkness from your body. The tired from your bones just turns into a dull ache that you can handle. And that loneliness is pushed down deep, and there are things to do, so it does not hurt as much. And there is the beautiful love that comes from the lady. And it does not fill like that 1 second before the loneliness and the hurt kicked in. But gosh, it's so much better than being without it. But you can't get the thought of just that 1 second out of your head. And then you are back in the ice, and there's the fire, and you can feel some of the heat now because the lady had put her hand through it, and the hole where the hand was begins to widen as the fire eats away at it. I saved you.
You did. You did. Thank you. What was that? What was that? It was very small. What was it? So nice.
It's something you could never have again. And you knew that. And I took away the emptiness and the loneliness and the hurt. And I kept it at bay. And I will continue to keep it at bay. But you will never, I mean this truly, you will never feel that again.
I think if I work hard, I could find it. I will help you. I'll do everything. It saved me. But I think I could find it. I'm powerful, like you said. Do it. Thank you.
When
Find
the
it.
hurt becomes too much, and it will, I will be here.
I think I understand a little more now. Thank you.
You know what you must do, Sarah, daughter. Continue. For everyone. And the shadow starts to, as if moving back into an expanse far beyond the house could possibly go. It moves away and into the darkness. And then the sounds of the world begin to come back. The snap of wood, the hiss of water hitting the fire, and you can now start to feel the heat of it.
I think Saga kind of just stands there for just a little bit longer until it starts to get a little too warm.
You hear Rose Petal kind of snuff at you a bit.
I'm sorry. Let's go back.
Starts to back their way out of the tunnel as best they can.
Yeah. Starts to back out with them. And probably finds that it's been like 2 hours or so. Or it's been a while.
Either way, I'm tired.
Yes. And I'm going to go over to my bag. I'm going to get out that sapphire that I have. I'm gonna wake up Gorbjorn and I'm gonna be like, Gorbjorn, I found this in the fire.
He's going to get up, rubbing his eyes, and he's looks down at it and then looks at Saga and is like, "Can I talk with you?"
Oh, yeah, sure. Saga's like a little like thrown.
Oh, I'm
off
gonna
at
take the
fact-
gem, but I'll like nonchalantly like, thank you. I'm sleepy, but I have something to.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
We're gonna go over to Rose Petal for like a. It's Rose Petal. Just gotta pet the horse. But kind of like distractingly petting the horse, so like it makes it easier for Gorbjorn to like confront her and say this. He's like, I don't know if I trust your lady. With my eyes, I saw Nira like a darkness of missing something where her heart should be. But more, I see you crying tears of void. I've worried, and I know not my place. Just
No. It's okay. I appreciate it. I had a conversation with Lady Seidr tonight. I don't know. Yeah. She kind of looks around like shouldn't be saying this, but I don't know either. I don't think anymore. She's wonderful. She helped me. She saved me. I know that. I don't know what she's doing.
she's saving you, or just taking you. I see most you doing everything. I see no lady. My eyes. I see things following us sometimes. That's a different.
It's a different thing.
Is that something we should be worried about?
I'm keeping my eyes on it. Okay, so Roshan has like this spooky thing, and it follows him like everywhere. Like
What?
I've been holding this in for like so long.
Just put Roshan's shit out on the bricks.
Hell yeah,
Just
it's
put
like
him
a
on
water cooler.
blast.
Like the water cooler at work.
Well, like
and then you
Gorbjorn's
just
still
gossip
holding the
around
secret, and he's
uniform.
like finally confronting her about her secret, and that is just it's a floodgate, all spills.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, and I stole this thing. Oh, here's some shells, and like.
Well, Saga probably stays up a little bit longer, just trying to talk to you about this. Like, but like, does it hurt him? Does it follow any of us, or is it just him? Is it like? Is it just?
It's not like your cryy eyes. It's like its own. Like, and I put my hand through it, and it's like not there, but like, and then can I like try to wipe the magic of like Saga's eyes thing?
Sure. Are you doing it blindly or do you have wolf eyes?
I'll use the last of my wolf eyes to do this.
Okay. You can see just the void, as you called it, leaking from her eyes, and you're able to take it into your hand for just like you wipe a bit from the corner, and then it starts to sort of smoke in your hand. Saga can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
you
I'm
can-
like literally like doing this weird, and then like putting my hand through the mist a bit. It's like, but yours is real for you.
I think it's because cried a lot at one point. I think I broke my eyes or something.
I think you are still crying.
Oh,
It is just Lady Seidr may be taking her tears.
Hmm.
For I saw the pain in Nira and how she disrespected men. Something still was eating at her that Lady Seidr would not let her have back.
That is very true. She did not seem all the way okay, I don't think. She had a big smile on her face, but I don't think she was okay.
I'm just going to like give like the creepiest big fake grin. It's like, this is a lie.
Yeah, it's just like
Jesus.
Rose Petal's just like watching and just like casually nodding with the conversation. Doesn't understand what anybody's saying because it's not Luxodon, but is nodding.
I just look over. I'm like in Luxodon, just like what we're talking about. Some I cry a lot, basically. It's just
It kind of gives you like a nuzzle, a bit like leans in like I'm sorry that you cry a lot.
thank you. Back to Gorbjorn and Common. I think I need to work some things out and think about it a little bit, but if you want to, would you be up for talking to Uproar again with me someday?
I would not mind that.
That might help figure some things out.
I like her attitude against hating every god.
It's a
That was
vibe that I
very
can.
Yeah, I haven't met a god I didn't want to stab.
Wow,
Except
Froggy is very
Froggy.
nice. Yes.
That was fed.
He's kind of on the list, but he's all right. But
Low on the list, but so
it's more like I'm jealous of like how good he like do everything and just want to stab him. Just like,
Okay, I
That's how-
understand.
That's how he works through his jealousy.
I haven't stabbed a person in like a week. That's huge.
Yeah, you just used like your axe and stuff on
We're
animals.
very proud of him.
Or your sword.
Animals are better than people.
Tired of killing all these animals. Where are the
I know.
people?
They didn't deserve it.
Frog Hemoth deserved better.
Just living in his own happy life.
Yeah.
What are we
here
to
go.
come in, just take everything, but gold.
Platinum, though.
Get that platinum dough.
Push past the horror of it.
But I'm going to put a hand on Saga's shoulder and give it like a good tap, and then just be like,
Just boom, boom.
yeah, just I'll let you get some rest, and then I go off and take the watch.
Thank you.
Hat.
I just been imagining it's a unicorn just like pressing against like, hey. Huh?
Like,
Yeah.
Just
oh,
the unicorn, like, setting one big
Oh.
hoof on his shoulder.
No, it just like leans its head and neck into you.
Oh. Maybe,
I
like,
like
nibbles at his hair.
Mhm.
Saga, you go back into the dome and go to sleep.
Yeah, I'd probably take a minute to just kind of look at the stars for a little bit and take a few deep breaths. And then I go to bed and I try to pinpoint that feeling and just think about that as much as I can to try to hold on to it so I don't forget. Because that's going to be the goal now.
You fall asleep dreaming of something you cannot physically or mentally understand, but you know that you had it before. So there's a hope that has now been seeded before you drift off, and Gorbjorn takes the watch. And eventually Fen gets up from his meditation and the night passes with the sound of wood snapping, and the fires roar, and both of those things begin to fade. And eventually it is embers, and the house is no longer there. And it is just the wood again. And as everybody begins to wake up, you can see on top of the bubble, the people who are awake at this time look up like, as a layer of snow has started to form on top. And when it pops, anybody who's still asleep is then instantly covered in snow as it falls in. And the party is picked up by a very cold puff of snow that hits them. And it is
I imagine I'm snoring and it like goes in my throat and I wake up coughing. Like,
Are we under attack?
Everyone all right? I made coffee.
But didn't you clean the roof of the bubble?
I'll never clean a roof
I have no
again.
control over the bubble.
Yeah, Fen, we blame you.
He's like, the roof's not even real, man. It's just gonna go away. Why would I clean it?
Plus, it's round. How am I
There's
supposed
no
to climb
roof.
on top of it?
I can't climb on it. If I tried to climb on it, I would go through it.
Not with that kind of attitude.
Gonna believe in yourself.
All right, I
and
guess,
before she
Roshan, I
dies,
guess we
like
have things to talk about. You can teach me how to climb on this bubble because I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I cleaned a house yesterday. It went fine. Your bubble, not so much.
I don't know. That house did start on fire afterward.
As you guys banter and make breakfast, the sun begins to shine as it does very vaguely through the trees. And you know that it has continued to snow, and it seems to be continuing forward in that way as you gather up your things. Rose Petal posing in like a beam of light, like just perfectly there with like the snow falling, like just blowing by.
bitch, I'm fabulous.
Yeah, there's just an energy to this unicorn, just always accidentally posed perfectly as the snow goes by.
Every
And-
time it turns its head, the mane just flips beautifully.
Oh yeah, there's not a hair out of place. As this beautiful creature accompanies you and can be ridden home. I'm sure Saga jumps up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, and she has like when she sees like the posing, just the thought in her mind just screams, "I'm going to need to make you an outfit."
Yes! Yes!
The need to make clothes for Rose Petal overtakes you, and you all begin your march back out of the forest. That is where we are going to take our break. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a 10-minute break, so go get a snack and a drink, and maybe we'll go check in on Ptolemaeus, and maybe we'll find ourselves a pumpkin. We'll see what happens next.
A pumpkin!
The immortal pumpkin! We almost forgot!
Undying Pumpkin. It is an undying pumpkin, which maybe we'll see in 10 minutes.
10 minutes! Thank you, 10!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 73 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our break. We're jumping back into things. We had a beautiful moment where Saga spoke to her goddess, and maybe they both got something out of it, or they got the exact opposite of what they wanted. We'll have to see how things transpire in the future. And then we also got Gorbjorn and Saga discussing all the things that Gorbjorn had been keeping to himself about the tears he could see in her eyes and the shadow that just keeps following Roshan around. So they have that water cooler moment together. So
Amazing.
Abby had to leave because, people got stuff to do. People got lives, but that's okay.
How dare they have lives outside of D&D?
Which is rude, but that's okay. So we're just going to jump back into it with this gaggle, and that'll be fine as Saga climbs up on the unicorn. And it's just kind of taking time, it looks like, to think and ponder the night prior. As you all make your way forward, and this is purely based on very good rolls sessions earlier. Fen, if you would like to be at the charge of the walking home, you're like, it's like I've been here a million times. it's already like, I know what this is. I've walked back and forth on this path now how many times? 2 is enough. So at the helm, you all begin to walk forward. Okay. Uneventful, cold. You eventually get to the spot where the lanterns return to being on the trees. And then eventually are out of the wood.
Can we take the lanterns? We don't want to guide people into a forest that has no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are you just taking them down, or are you yeeting them into the bag of holding?
I imagine just yeeting it into the distance, see how far I can throw it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But if anybody wants a lantern, tell me now before I just.
Yeah, if Gorbjorn's doing that, Fenn wants to collect some more glass.
Oh, then I'll just spike it at the floor and just be like,
yeah.
Another!
Having to go long. Yeah, you
Oh,
got
God.
another handful of glass.
Hopefully not a hand full of glass.
Just full of glass. He's like, listen, the
Trying to
dame-
collect full panes at this point.
all
but
my bones are made of glass, and my skin is made of paper.
So here's the question. I can assume the answer, but I will not. Are you guys heading back to Beloved?
Yes.
You just veer around it?
Yes.
Actually.
We gotta collect our beloved Ptolemaeus and Hercules.
Listen, I'm not going to assume that.
But most importantly, Thick Biscuit.
Yeah.
Yes, Thick
We're here for
Biscuit.
Thick
Most
Biscuit to get
important
those
of
other
all,
guys.
Thick Biscuit and Rose Petal must get acquainted.
Yeah, you guys would be leaving your cart. But
That too.
either way, you make your way back. Gets to be. The pace is going. Guys, leader. It's probably late afternoon by the time you guys get back. Kind of pushing it a bit. Around 4 or 5, honestly. But you make your way back, and the town is definitely not as happening as it was when you guys first arrived.
Well, that was the festival, and I guess this is the
People are just
lull
kind of
following.
existing now, and there's people who are looks like they're finishing up some grocery shopping and have a basket and are walking home with it. And there's people who are standing around talking and just going about their lives. Yes, Nana, that was weird. I went through
No, I
every
understand.
character's name rapid fire, and I'm like, who is anyone? It took me a minute.
Nobody knows. Who knows? As we're heading into town, Nana would like to sort of just quietly mention to the party, perhaps it would be wise of us to at least make mention to the chief of the town that the on-again, off-again healer of the wood is no longer available.
We can tell her that she disappeared. We don't have to just say unavailable, because that makes it sound like we killed her and burned down her house.
Well,
Or we
her
could say
house
we
did
killed her
burn
and burned down her house.
No, I think we should not do that, Gorbjorn. On account of we did not kill her, and she burned her own house down. On that note, however, I agree with you, Roshan. I do think that it would be wise for her, the chief, to at least know that she's vanished and won't be available to the village. I would hate for anyone to be in a condition such as mine was and wander off into the woods only to find nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I concur.
Saga gives a nod from the unicorn. The unicorn then also nods, as
Of
if it
course,
understood any
solemnly.
of that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, I understand common. It nods. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
For sure. You make your way into town. Last place you left Ptolemaeus was at the inn, if that's where you guys want to go, or if there's anything you wanted to do.
Is there a leathersmith in town?
There might be. You'd have to go ask around and look for it.
Yeah, I'd like to look around for that.
Okay, so you're going to veer off.
Yeah. Once we're into town, yes.
Yeah, no, that's what I assumed. I'll find my leathersmith elsewhere. Rides off. So you step up. The rest of you going to the inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just set the inn when you're done, Fen.
I'll meet you there. Gorbjorn, might I have a bit of coin? I'll be responsible with it.
I'm actually just getting into my inventory. I'll just go with you. I got nothing better to do.
That's fair.
He looks at the bag, looks at you, looks at the bag, follows you.
I'll not part with a single copper.
Just,
No,
there's a lot here.
All right, that'll work.
All right.
Yes, Gorbjorn, accompany me. I appreciate it.
You two both veer off. Everybody else makes their way to the inn. You know, I'm going to send Tordrek with you guys. There you go.
There you
everyone's
go.
to the inn.
Even Stevens. Here we
Each
go.
person's like, actually, I could go to the store. And everyone peels off.
Yeah.
Do we have to get this plate mail fitted for Tordrek, or is it already able to fit on him?
You guys can give it a try. Might fit.
We'll see what Fen wants to do, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of you make your way in to the inn, and there's the warmth that greets you, and there's the little old man and now his partner. They both kind of wave at you as you walk in. Hey there, drinks? And you look over to the side at one of like the larger tables, and you see Ptolemaeus sitting in like a central chair, just like in the middle of the table. And at least half a dozen women around the sides, like watching him and like leaning in close and being like, you hear one of them like, oh wow, that's so interesting. And like just around him while he's writing in this book. And he like looks up at the group. Oh, welcome back.
Good to be back.
I'll go wedge in between the women and Tall just to.
Yeah.
Give him a little space.
He's my friend.
Back off.
Yeah.
wrong tree.
Now that more people are coming over, they fan out a bit, taking the hint.
You already had your fun.
Yeah.
Go on, scat, scat. Water. Get out of here. He looks over and looks at Nana. So you are okay?
Yes. Much better. Much. We found help, and I'm cured. No one need to worry.
All right. And he closes his book. Are we staying here tonight, or are we heading out?
We've had a day full of travel. I don't think we'll leave tonight.
Not tonight. We
Okay.
still need to discuss with the chief one or two matters, and we'll head out in the morning, I expect, once we've replenished our stocks.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know where she is? Have you seen her?
Honestly, if I just murmur it at someone, eventually it gets around and she'll be here.
Are you that popular?
It's pretty efficient. And just like glances at a woman next to him who's like before he even looks, she's like already stood up and like grabbed like a roll off of like another table and is like, yeah, I'll go check it out. Pushes past you guys.
I've got to know, is this all your charm, or is Hercules working the room for you?
You can just hear the sound of shuffling under the table as Hercules like moves like around and is just like picking up any scraps that fall down.
Of course.
Oddly enough, it's me.
So how does it feel to be popular, huh?
It feels and just like a cacophony of giggles.
Tall as an introvert, confirmed.
Confirmed 100%.
I love him so much.
He's so good. Nana kind of gives him a gentle pat on the like just kind of on the arm, like it's all right, it's all right.
But I've found out a couple of things, not too much, but studying the earth. I'll tell you later.
Okay, of course, we'll have time.
Okay, and just kind of goes back to existing in this crowd, like, and just continues casual conversation with you and these women because he's very polite. And he's like, a lot of shoulder touches, a lot of like giggling and like leaning into. Ptolemy seems like he's okay with it. Like he doesn't look uncomfortable, but he's just like, okay. Does not seem super phased by it. And occasionally you'll see one of the women like pull off a piece from like some bread she's eating and like toss it under the table. So equal love for both of our NPCs. As you guys wait for the chief to show up, the rest of you, little shopping trip real fast. Yeah, there seems to be a basic leathersmith.
All right, Gorbjorn, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not expect you to accompany me. Since we left Galunda, I've been searching for anyone who could provide me with an opportunity to purchase a nice set of soft, regal, comfortable, fitting the stature of a prince, kid-skin boots for you, because you're very sneaky. You need soft boots. You're a prince. You should be comfortable in your own feet. And I have not found anyone yet to get these. So maybe it'll actually prove useful to have you along because you've got very big feet and maybe some adjustments need to be made. But that's what I've been searching after. And it was supposed to be a surprise, but you insisted on coming along. And I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you. I want you to have nice things.
I'm a little surprised. Don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. You're a good friend, and you should. And if you're going to be a prince, you should look the part.
Well, let me know if you find something that you want.
I'll keep my eye out, but I'm a man of simple needs and few wants.
There's just this leathersmith looking at y'all.
We need a very fancy set of very soft boots, but in large size because he has big foot.
Gorbjorn, you recognize this woman instantly, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm aware."
Oh my god!
She goes and starts looking through stuff.
That goes
I know
entirely over
exactly how big his feet are.
It goes over Fenn's head entirely.
He's like, okay.
You know what they
Look.
say about men with big feet.
They've got a
Jesus,
devil's
like, I
community in
swear,
it.
she looks familiar.
Mm,
During
Gorgon,
y'all's
come
walk,
on.
there's the occasional like wave from a woman as you all walk by. Just an occasional, just casual wave.
I know Tordrick and Gourd are eating that up, just like, oh.
He waves at him back. He's like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Everybody's very friendly in this town. I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
Maybe you should make some friends.
I have all the friends I need, thank you.
Well, these friends do a lot more than we do.
I mean,
Again,
y'all
right
only
over
just
Fenn's
kissed
head.
once.
I'll give off like a jerk off motion.
You know, friends.
With benefits.
Oh, friends with swords. Okay, swords. They hold swords. All right, I understand.
Ardrick looks over at Gorbjorn. It's for the best. I think it's for the best.
Like Gorbjorn's just like, I thought reading was a challenge, but I can't get past this.
And Ardrick's like, please. No, new challenge.
You just walked in on me like once or twice, though. You would know what this is. You're just not getting the references.
Yeah, I'm not getting the references. No. Fen is it's pretty literal, and innuendos are neighbors of lies.
I think Tordrick would break
Fen
it
doesn't
down
lie.
very polite for you, but like also kind of like Chef, where it's like, when you make love to a woman.
Or
this,
like 50.
this woman has just been part of this conversation and very much not being part of this conversation. Okay, and just put some boots up on the table. These are some nice boots. They look soft. They have a bit of like a regal feel to it, but very minimalistic, very classic.
Nice, not too fancy.
All these to
I'll
your
probably
liking.
ask for like patchwork on my boots as well. You just gotta literally just fill that hole. Like, I don't care.
Just like, you know.
So if you want to buy these, it's going to be, and she like checks them to see if there's like any damage to it, kind of goes about to look at like the stitching. 3 gold.
Gorbion, if these are the ones you want, from whatever's in the purse that I would have been entitled to anyways, I would have just wasted it on something stupid had it been up to me. So
I'll give her 5 gold for carrying my future child.
This is for the kid.
Yeah, it's just
Hey, consider this paternity pay.
She takes it. Okay. And then hands the boots over. Anything else?
Is
No,
there
that's-
a Smith in town?
Yeah, if you're looking for some metal work done, not exactly my forte. He does okay. He does pretty good work if you need basics done. It's not one of those guys that can like, hit a lightning bolt into it or whatever,
Just may need to resize some armor for it.
Yeah. And she points across, like she's like, go this way, go that way. You can basically see where she's pointing. The town's not very big. She's like, right over there. All of you move over. There's still the waves from different women that walk by.
I'm sure there's like a redhead that catches Tordrick, and he's like, he like leans up and he's like, hey, and then like, no, wait, we're doing this for you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Refocus. You get to the this armor smith, older guy. Looks like he has an interesting mix of features, like a bit like slender in the face, ears point a bit, but just this aggressive beard, just very aggressive, and like a bit like shorter in stature than a normal elf or half elf might be, or very much so a half elf might be.
Dwelf?
Dwelf.
Or Dwelf? Yeah, Dwelf.
A Dwelf. And he's like, yeah, what can I do?
I'm gonna like hold up the armor like to Tordrick and see if it's like too big. It's like
Tordrick models it. The guy looks at it. It needs a little bit of little fitting. Takes a look at it. Not a lot though. If I just change the clasps a bit. I could finish it if you give me a couple days because it's a bit late. Honestly, like 5 gold, and if you want like a rush job, 8.
Okay, out of character.
On the inside.
Yeah, out of character. Just so, are we trying to leave fast? Because I know we have the Undying Pumpkin that we need to get to. I
don't know how far that is from here.
Well, I mean, does Tordrick need plate mail now? Like, I would always assume just put plate mail just as fast on as possible. Also, I don't mind spending time in this town as Gourd.
I mean, no, yeah,
run
that's
around.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a rush job. He could, like, it looks like he was starting to close up. He could push through the night with the extra pay and have it done by morning. He says it's not too much work to do.
Okay, then yeah, we'll do a rush job and I'll pay the 8.
Also,
Okay.
out of character, could Fen have purchased a leather satchel, small leather, just a leather bag when we were at the leathersmith?
Sure.
Okay.
They've only got fanny packs.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it like
Fanny
fanny pack
packs.
time?
It is a fanny pack.
It's a fanny pack. Sorry, it's canon.
All right. Anyhow, what I would like to do is I'd like to borrow the hammer of the armor smith and take all that glass that I've been collecting for the past couple of sessions, put it in the leather bag, and smash it up into glass dust.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This guy's like, a copper for rental is what he says.
That's fair.
I know coppers are the small ones, the small red ones.
Well, I was there at the shop when this happened, so
Yeah.
Already flicked over and snatches it.
Yeah,
There you go. And he gives you a hammer, and he like points you away from where he works to like a kind of a corner area, and is like, I don't want the dust all over. It gets out all over my things, you know.
Yeah.
you don't want to make impurities in the steel.
I don't want
No,
Okay.
that's how you get slag. I understand that. There was once in Briarheart there was a metalsmith that he said slag is bad.
Mm.
I guess it depends on your opinion of slags, but you know. So you now have a bag of glass dust.
Awesome.
And in the morning, you guys will have plate mail that fits your friend Tordrick.
Nice.
Meanwhile, as you guys are making the rounds, the chief eventually arrives. For expediency, what did you guys want to tell her?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think primarily it's just that Nira, the healer witch of the wood, has disappeared following helping us out, and we're not sure if she'll ever be back, so...
She's on vacation. She burned her
She
house
went to
down.
the
She's never coming back. We got a
She's on
unicorn.
permanent vacation!
And if she ever does come back, she'd prefer not to be called a witch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy enough. You can see that the chief Regna is pretty happy that you are not dead, and that this woman was actually there and can help you. It's a shame that she left and really didn't want to help anymore, but we all have our prerogatives, I suppose.
She was, She felt as if there were folk who suspected her of darker motives, and did not feel as welcome, was what I gleaned from what little I was able to converse with her about. Don't know if that contributed to things, but regardless, she's no longer there. Hopefully she will return one day, but perhaps should another healer, her or someone else, take up the woods, perhaps some sensitivity training for the people might go a long way.
Sadly, I can't make up for how people behaved 40 years ago, but I'm sure if it were up to me, it would be different.
Oh, that long
Well,
ago. I haven't
the woods
really noticed.
are a bit safer now. There
That
are
is also
some
true.
giant frogs that will try to eat people,
Mm.
but there's no longer a gargantuan frog.
Mm-hmm. Who knows if there are more of those gargantuan frogs, but at least there is one less.
You hear
Fewer, one fewer.
Ptolemaeus sigh so deeply. Puts his head in his hands.
We'll
that's
tell you
good
all about
to
it later,
know.
Ptolemaeus.
I am incredibly fine without anyone telling me anything ever again.
That is
honestly.
perfectly fine as well.
Oh, it was enormous. It was the size of a home. It ate
You're
our
not
friends.
even-
You're not
You're
there,
dead.
Fen!
You're not
You're
here.
getting
rooting for
leather
Ptolemaeus
and
tonight.
metal!
And a bag of glass powder.
Yeah!
I got this glass powder. If there's anything else you guys wanted to do, Ptolemaeus had a couple of things he wanted to talk about, but he could also do that on the road. He is fine. Just wanted to do it slightly more private than at the fangirl table.
Either works.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you guys needed to do before night comes?
Oh, yes. Nana needs to run her letters and a parcel to the post office. The parcel is packaged with one of the letters, postmarked for Hertha.
Okay.
And then Gorbjorn's going to get his own room to see who's down for round 2 of Electric Boogaloo.
Just to make sure it's stuck.
Well, not every girl got to be.
That's true. There's plenty of other
Yeah,
ladies.
we gotta invite in everybody else.
Okay, so let's
Gorbjorn
go
is
Nana real
very
fast, because Gorbjorn's thing is a bit interesting. Bit interesting to talk about in a minute. How many letters?
It's gonna be a total of 6. 3 she wrote before the operation, 3 after, and then also the package goes with one of the first 3.
Okay, so you can put if the letters are put to be certain people, if
Yeah.
they're the same person, you can put them together.
Okay, cool. Then yes, I will bundle, and it will be a total of 3.
Cool. I was like, let me save you a little money on this.
I'd appreciate that, thank you.
And hope that.
Unless if you want them spaced out, then you hold on
No.
for this for
Just
No.
hold on to
5
this one
days
for,
and then
a
send
day
it.
and then give it.
No.
I might be dying 2 days later. I'm not dead.
God.
It's gonna be.
Jesus.
Give me.
Uh-huh.
My brain exploded.
Yep.
A silver, and I shall be content. They throw all the stuff in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get this out as soon as the guy comes by. Pick it up. Might be a minute though.
More than fine. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Just so you know, if you go to bigger areas, they usually can get letters out a bit faster.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. I'd rather get these particular off sooner rather than later, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Sometimes the guy doesn't veer this way all the time, but we'll see if we can get these out.
Thank you. I very
Of
much
course.
appreciate it.
Gorbjorn, give me. I'm going to give you advantage because you are the town's champion at the moment.
Very
if you could
popular.
go ahead and give me just a straight charisma roll, but with advantage.
That is a 17.
Ooh. You see that, oddly enough, it's a little difficult. Like they seem to like acknowledge like who you are and what you've done and seem to be like a bit like infatuated. But it takes you a hot second to get like a bite. Because one of them's like, oh, it's just a customary thing. I have to make sure, you know, there can't be too many. And there's one woman who's like, yeah, fuck it. She's fine.
Hell yeah. Get it on.
Rituals are for nerds. So you're good. That's Gorbjorn's night. Everybody else good?
Yeah.
Saga's doing just slow laps on a unicorn. And then eventually
poor girl.
trying to come back inside, and
Thinking
Ptolemaeus like looks out the window
thoughts.
like, okay. And he just kind of goes.
She's got a lot to think about.
It was more about the
unicorn.
Rose petals.
rose.
Goes cat around. But he's a horse.
We're gonna just have this whole video muted. We're very musical today. But eventually everybody goes off to their room. Saga eventually gets tired, goes up to the rooms as well. Night comes.
I'd like to work with Jenny for a little while. Whether that's in my room or out of the room, I just want to practice with her and see if I can get her to learn Ptolemaeus, like who he is.
Okay, roll animal handling.
14.
There's still the same hurdle.
Okay.
But you can get her to fly to him. It's once again, it is motivated by food.
Yeah.
But she at least gets the gist fully. There's not like hesitation. It's just the second the food is sizzled, she's like, oh yeah, that one. And seems
The
to
food,
understand
yes.
that 100%. I can fly to where the food is. I am very smart, she thinks, and then flies over there.
Keep trying, bud. Keep trying. You'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you straight up, I'm looking for a DC 20.
Okay.
I was looking for it 3 times. You've already done it twice. I'm just looking for one more, and she will have learned something. So soon.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I want to work with her while we have a little bit of downtime. When we're not like, actively being swallowed by frogs.
Yeah.
We're like going down time.
Yeah. I just wanted to also explain myself to be like, here's the goal.
That's fine.
yeah.
That's
All
understood.
right.
Reasonable.
The night passes. Some people with company, some people without, some people just happy to sleep in a bed, and that's just how it is today.
Anna is.
The next morning, the plate mail is given to Tordrecht. He now has plate mail. I'll make a note.
Yeah. Plate mail for Tordrecht.
Dude's gonna be a monster eventually.
Yeah, he is.
Clerics are
Right.
already scary. Like, don't.
We have to make him more scary.
I'm on board.
You can't make
magic
him not
sword
be
and
last in
shield
initiative,
and-
though.
Plate mail? Oh my. He's already scaring the shit out of me.
Slow but steady wins the race, my friend.
Oh yeah.
I'm very pleasant.
Yes, he
Tordrecht
is.
murmurs to himself.
Tordrecht is extremely pleasant, but
I'm
also a beast on the battlefield.
Sorry, I just played so many clerics. I just know how much mayhem they can really be.
What a nightmare we will
Yeah.
soon all get to behold.
Eventually.
But
Like, yeah, play the cleric. You're the support. It's like, I am the carry.
first off, yeah, don't tell me who I am. But you say goodbye to anybody who's there. Once again, you get on your cart. There are waves as you leave, and you guys hit the road again. You are about 2 days away from the next big town, which Ptolemaeus seems interested in because he needs to resupply and is hoping a bigger area might be more useful to him than small sex town, you know?
Yeah, you know.
So
We all love Belovin, but you know.
yeah, Belavin's great.
Not the biggest
But, you know, not like a huge supply of like oil, you know? Maybe very specifically.
Stupid America.
Certain oils, not the ones he needs.
On making your way forward, Ptolemaeus kind of like pulls out his book. So I'm still researching the soil and the bits of the things that I took. And he like holds up like a vial, and you can see that it's like separated into like different, like there's like a thin tannish liquid on top, and then like a darker liquid in the middle, and then like a sediment at the bottom, and he's kind of like showing it off.
Interesting.
And he reaches into his bag and pulls out a smooth, like blackish stone, and he holds it up to it, and you watch as a lot of the sediment moves towards the stone.
Oh. Is that...
And he moves the stone around, and you watch the sediment follow the stone.
Oh.
So, like, the top part is moving, or like
The bottom part? The bottom
The
part.
sediment at the bottom.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, is that magic, or is that
No,
something more akin to...
I don't have magic. This is... I was hoping there'd be some science. It does not explain anything, but there's some science. So this attracts metals.
Interesting.
So this corruption, as you call it, has a lot of metal in it. It is able to be moved with magnetic fields. And then tries to fully explain magnetic fields, and then there's just a barrier between you guys and all that. So he's like, ooh, okay.
I mean,
it is metal. It is metal.
This is a very long shot, but like, can Nana relate anything at all of what he's describing to anything of her experience having had this shit in her body for several days?
We met a woman who used poles. Gaza. She used a pole.
I don't
poles
think that's
like
the
that.
sort
Is that
of
what
pole
what
he's talking about. No,
Oh.
I'm just more interested in like taking his magnet and then just like keep like dropping and pulling it off like Torjik's armor or something.
or off of like his sword.
Yeah, I'm like testing out
Or
like,
not
is
a
this
spear.
magnetic? Is this magnetic? Is this...
See, this works. This does not work. So you guys get the gist of it, that it is metal, and this thing attracts certain metals. So it is another thing that this is just me speculating. It is there is small amounts of metals in blood. And I have found it in earth parts that I have collected where the corruption was, and in the body, which makes sense because they are, they were once living things, so it makes sense, but it's concentrated.
Congealed blood.
Is there metal in plants?
Well, and then
Oh This is like an hour-long conversation.
Well, we're on the road, thankfully.
No, I
but
know.
just
It's a
stupidly
perfect
asked
time.
the wrong
Holds it up to
question
different
and just
plants,
like,
and he's like, so the plant should not lean into. And you watch the plant lean into it, and he's like, hate it here. I hate this place.
Is that plant corrupted?
And it's just like this blade of like driest grass just kind of leans slightly, and he's like,
Is that grass
that's
corrupted?
interesting. That's good to know. That is fine. Makes a
Is
big.
that- do that everywhere. Like,
So, could we stick that onto something if it were corrupted?
You are welcome to try next time you see something corrupted. I have a smaller one. When he pulls out the stone and he hands it over, he's just like, here you go.
Oh,
I totally
thank you.
take that.
Gordion's there instantly.
Yeah, no, that's fair, that's
ADHD
fair.
addicted to this thing now.
you know, it's interesting. I almost wish that we had kept one of those worms, but
Actually, that would have
Almost.
been probably very helpful, but I understand.
I'm sorry about that. But
No,
ugh.
it's probably for the best for me, emotionally.
Yeah, I would say that's probably fair, and for me as well. Maybe also Saga.
So Saga's just riding the unicorn, just slumped on it and just going forward.
Just like flopped on poor rose petals, just like on the neck, just like arms and legs
Legitimately walking.
dangling.
Unfazed, gorgeous, sun beating down, reflection on the snow. It's all perfect.
Amazing.
Mm.
Amazing.
So I'm gonna say Saga will not be part of this. Two people could helm today's perception checks, or one person could have advantage.
Tordrick can do that because he's got what
Pretty good.
+4 to his.
I can do perception checks.
I got +5 as well on that. I don't know.
I just need to know
Up
who's
to y'all.
doing it.
No, I'll help you.
All right. Come on then. Let's.
We're just watching this magnet shenanigans. Like, this is
Yeah.
the coolest thing I've ever seen in my
Well,
life.
he has to because I'm
Oh,
doing
shit.
it mostly
Yeah,
off the
basically
pitch.
just watching like,
Doing it right on his armor, like ka-chunk,
This is fun.
ka-chunk. Eh.
Okay, what do we got?
Well, we've got looks like an 18 total.
Okay. I don't even think I made the note like that. I just have a note that says making way downtown, and I'm like, I don't even think I meant to do that. But here we are.
Fucking fast.
I'm trying not to.
Trying not to get copyright infringement.
And we'll see what happens. We're living on the edge.
If you make it unrecognizable, they can't copyright it.
That's not true somehow.
God damn it.
That's not true at all.
Companies are shit.
Hey, hot takes here at the Dice Cult. You guys are going down the road. You're sitting at the front of the cart, keeping your eye out, Nana. Fenn's there helping you. There's the thunk sound that never stops as Gorbjorn is putting this magnet on everything.
Of course.
Ptolemaeus keeps trying to explain it, but the thing is, he learned your language from Viking, who it seems is not a scientist, and they were not talking like this to each other.
Oh.
So he doesn't know the words for it. So it's
no.
it's very roundabout and strange, but he's trying.
Can Roshan try to help him condense it? He's the wordsmith.
I mean, you guys vaguely know that this stone attracts metals, and that's enough at the moment currently that Ptolemaeus can give.
Okay. We'll try and help him out later.
It's a deficit on his part because of the language barrier. But it worked. Nana, you're looking around, going past the occasional farm, and this has you on pumpkin alert. You're like, okay, keeping an eye out. And then you see a pretty barren looking field. You're like, okay, pretty good layer of snow over the top. Tiny farmhouse. You don't see anybody walking around. And there, like a beacon, sitting in the center of one of these abandoned fields, is a beautiful orange pumpkin.
All right. Who wants to see a pumpkin?
Saga sits up.
Nana.
Mhm.
I didn't want to say this in front of the group. I have no idea what the fuck a pumpkin is.
Everyone's sitting at the cart.
Just listening. You'll see soon enough. As shall everyone else. Come on. It's all right.
Do they
It's just
typically
a fact.
die easily? Is that why this one's
a
so
plant.
special?
Not really, actually. They're very tenacious things, but you'll see.
All
Come
right.
on.
Show me, please.
Nana points the way. Mac does not. Nana does.
Mac's like, it's over there.
Ah!
Thank you, stranger.
It's like, whoa! Who is that?
A spirit from beyond.
Oh, she
oh,
doesn't
easy
even
enough.
go here.
Pull your cart over, make your way up this small path. It's not too far up the road. And there, sitting in the middle of a barren patch, is this beautiful orange gourd, casually sitting there with a little sign next to it and a basket.
Huh. What does the sign say?
The sign says, fair trades only.
Fair trades only. Huh.
But nobody's here.
Yeah, you look around and there is not a soul.
I take the pumpkin and run.
Hold on, Gorbjorn, you've got to leave that. Is it still attached to the vine?
He picks it up,
Once we're close to it, how big is this thing?
holds it like this in his arms. Pretty big pumpkin. Good sized pumpkin. Gorbjorn has already picked it up and is going back to the cart.
Hold on now. That isn't ours. It's an attraction that's been advertised for miles. And if we are seen with it, everyone will know we took it.
I heard like 3 words and
Level
Gorbjorn,
attraction.
please.
Yes.
we're just like pumpkin.
Climbs into the back of the cart with the pumpkin.
I can't help but feel partly responsible for this. If I hadn't bought him those new boots, he probably wouldn't have gotten away with this.
That's fair.
His
Let's
footsteps
put
were
down-
so quiet.
I guess maybe this sign is just from the farmer. Maybe they were trying to find a good home for it. Ugh. What's the worth of a pumpkin?
I don't know what I'm not sure what a pumpkin is. Can you eat it?
It's a yes.
I see it's a bowl. Like it's
a large fruit plant.
Lord.
You can eat it. It's you can break it open. There's seeds inside. You can roast those. You can roast the flesh.
You hear,
it's-
like, when Gorbjorn gets in the cart, you hear Thomas, oh, a pumpkin.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pumpkin. It's a food item. It's something that would be grown as produce by a farmer. And if this is actually an undying pumpkin, as has been advertised, it's probably worth quite a bit more than your average.
I
So
punched the pumpkin.
Hold
You
on,
punch the pumpkin, your fist goes straight into it.
oh Jesus.
was it attached to a vine when he took it?
No.
Okay, it had already been snipped. It's just sitting there.
Yeah, it was just sitting there. You put your hand in, you take it out, your hand's kind of like a little like
Iggy,
red,
yeah.
and there's like the seeds and like the sinew, and you're like, oh.
I don't get this whole thing, and I just kind of like throw it behind me into the cart.
Throws it, shatters on the ground.
How close are we to this?
Saga wails. It's gone.
Gorbjorn! Oh,
It smells terrible. Why would anyone eat that?
it's better once it's cooked. It's not good raw.
Oh.
We'll have
Biscuit
to
takes a
replace it.
gander at
I'm
it.
just like licking my hand a little bit, like. "Ugh."
I told you it isn't good raw!
the crunching of
Oh.
thick biscuit as they just eat this broken pumpkin on the
God damn
ground.
it. Yeah, it's fine.
Majestic
Okay.
unicorn slightly behind.
Nana is just gonna start going through her pack, trying to find something that would be a worthwhile trade for I guess an undying pumpkin before it gets murdered.
I
looks
mean,
like
it's already gone.
It's clearly a dying pumpkin. It
It seems
died.
like, yeah,
Whatever it
false
was, it's
advertising.
dead now. It was not undying.
Whatever.
It just died.
It seems to me like it was perhaps intended as maybe a draw for this farmer to their property. Why else would someone try to draw in business with talk of something as fanciful as an undying pumpkin, honestly?
Pumpkin itself sounds pretty fanciful to me. I'd never seen one before.
Roshan would like to inspect it with detect magic.
Okay. So like the pumpkin?
Yeah.
Okay, you jog over to Thick Biscuit and you're like, hey man.
How's
this
that
big
pumpkin
horse.
tasting?
Oh yeah, there's a glow to this pumpkin. And just Thick Biscuit plans to eat this whole pumpkin. It is his birthday. This horse is not stopping. It's like, okay.
Roshan won't stop him, but we'll say it is magical in some way. Maybe it'll put itself back together.
Well,
Maybe.
Side thick biscuit.
Maybe it'll keep Thick Biscuit fed forever. I don't know.
It'll distend his stomach horribly. We can only hope not. Oh, God. Okay, let's see. What have I got in here? Not giving up my boons. I've got my...
I don't know why we're paying for false advertising. I'm going to be honest. Like, normally I feel like I'm very, like I get it.
Well, then
Well,
what
but
would
he
you
killed
consider
it.
fair trade for it?
I'll just say, with all these smashing of pumpkins, today is the greatest day I've ever known.
Well, I'm going to go back in the cart. I think I'm ready to leave here. Good side mission. And Georgia goes. Saga's like, yeah, I'm going to go too. And Unicorn veers off to the side. Literally nobody here. Nothing. You look, not a light in the house, not a person around, not another plant in the field. Was now nothing, actually. The pumpkin is gone.
Well, there's a sign saying trade.
Yeah, there's a sign in a basket. That's all that's left.
Is there
Roshan,
anything in the basket?
There was a pumpkin.
No, there's nothing in the basket.
Roshan will take a sizable portion of the pumpkin and go leave a gold piece in the basket.
Okay.
Anna does not have any gold pieces.
All right.
Not yet.
1 gold piece in the basket. You guys content?
Anna will... She doesn't get to play her pan flute very often anyway. She can probably find another one.
Saga's like, why are we giving things for this pumpkin?
On the
Just
off
walking in
chance
circles
that
on
this
this
was
unicorn.
supposed to be something that the farmer was trying to make a living on, mayhaps they can use this. Nana will drop her pan flute in there and, I don't know,
You know what, Saga?
3 silver.
Gorbjorn, despite all his rage, he's still just a rat in a cage.
You get 1 more.
Oh, I get 1 more. All right.
Only 1 more. So
Right.
so take that, dwell on it,
One more tonight. Tonight?
and now you're done. And now no more. Perfect.
No more forever.
So Nana, you want to put in this pan flute? Like, didn't you just buy this pan flute a little recently?
No, this I've had for like a long time.
I recall us talking about, like, I'm proficient in pan flute, want pan flute, but
I'm also proficient in pan flute.
we're all proficient in plant flute.
Mm-hmm.
So you are welcome to put that in if you would like.
Well, now
Next to the 1 gold, which is a lot of money.
Nana will put in 3 silver.
The world's most expensive pumpkin, you have all decided.
I guess. It sounded special. And apparently it's magical to some degree, according to Roshan. So maybe it's pricier. Who knows? Yeah, 3 silver in the basket. And, like, my salted berries aren't magic outside of my good berry spell, so.
You could probably cast it on them, right? No? Yeah, I don't know how it works.
The spell dissipates after a certain amount of time.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll put like 5 of those in there. I don't know.
I don't have any like money things, but I'll like leave the arrowhead. I had an arrowhead that I collected. I'll leave that in there.
All right.
I have no money things. I have nothing of value. We let Gorbjorn keep that stuff, and apparently he smashes stuff that's also worth value.
Well, I steal it first, and then I see if it's able to withstand.
I like it or not. Okay, you guys put a gold, 2 silver in a handful of 3 silver in a handful of berries and an arrowhead into a basket.
Yes.
Okay. If you guys think that is the worth of your 1/4 of a pumpkin you are taking home with you, then by all means. Roshan just has this hunk of pumpkin, like, okay. Would you guys like to continue on?
I guess we should. Before somebody comes along and pitchforks us for ending their livelihood.
You look around, not a soul.
Not a soul.
You know, Nana, somehow I feel Gorbjorn's actions were inappropriate.
4 damage.
What? What did I get 4 damage for?
For me, I'm joking.
What? Okay, I'll take 4 damage. I didn't.
I said I was joking.
Okay, all right.
Anything else in this abandoned field?
I just want to know, is there like any sign of, I don't know, struggle, any sign of like an attack happening? Does the house look like it was burned?
Roll investigation as Nana begins to walk around the property.
Just for a second, and then I'll get in the cart. Ooh, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad at all. Investigation, +2. It's a 19.
You are convinced there was no struggle or fire or anything bad happening here.
I don't know why this place is abandoned. I've no bloody clue. Let's get out of here.
Okie dokie.
All right. There's supposed to be a lighthouse and a museum. A traveling museum. But I hope we're not too late to catch.
I guess we'll see.
All right. So what are you going to do with your section of pumpkin?
You gonna salt it in my salted berry pouch?
Oh, just like if you're putting it in the bag of holding or just holding it.
I will keep that in the cart for the next 24 hours, and then if it doesn't seem to do anything, it'll probably go into the bag of holding to be forgotten about.
Yeah. Pushing forward through the rest of the day, and boy howdy did that come to fruition. It is just sitting there chilling. It's a pumpkin, part of a pumpkin.
Great. Does it? What was that?
I was just mimicking throwing it into the bag of holding. Like,
oh, yeet. A short yeet.
Yeet.
Abby seemed to be on board with just stealing the pumpkin. I'm just gonna say, I just looked at the comments and I played it correctly then. So, anything before you throw it in the bag?
That would be the next day. So after 24 hours,
Okay.
if it doesn't do anything, yeah, then it's going in the bag.
Yeah. Eventually, you guys continue forward. On the way, your perception was pretty high. You see a cart go by, just it's a road, it's the main road. This cart looks like it has 2 guards on the side of it, and inside it looks like about pretty good sized cart. There's about 8-9 people inside. And you take a glance and you can see that kind of leaned up against a couple where people are sitting and kind of pushed into a corner, that there is more than enough axes for all of them. And the cart is going the opposite direction of you guys.
Are they, can we tell if they're state sponsored guards? Are they wearing like the sigil of a jarldom or something like that? Or are they just more of these mercenaries that
You believe these are actually Jarlsmen.
Okay.
These are not mercenaries.
okay.
Or they're mercenaries in Jarlsman clothes, but they look like Jarls.
All right.
Yeah. They just go by. Uneventful day. Depends how you feel the pumpkin was an event or not. You did get to watch a pumpkin be punched and then thrown across the ground. Thick Biscuit's living his best life. He's re-energized, ready to pull this cart and be muscular.
He's a full boy.
You guys set up for the night, same as always. Off the track, search the area, check things out, bubble up. Uneventful night. Casual and cool in the next morning. Pumpkin is still the same. No change in the section that you have.
I'll check and see if it's still magical.
Yes.
Okay. Well, after that, I guess I'll put it in the bag and check on it once every 24 hours.
It's an experiment now.
We're doing science.
Yeah, it's kind of
Science.
Need a control group. Can we get a watermelon out here or something to compare it against?
Got the watermelons.
It's a little tacky to the touch, but you're like, all right, hey, you throw it into the bag of holding. Where it may be checked in on 24 hours, who knows? You continue forward, and you guys think around, honestly, before sundown today, you will make it into the next town over.
What is that town called?
One moment, I just had to go look at I had to
That's
turn my page over. I'm like, where is it? It's Noonsicht. Noonsicht is the next town over. And by town, this varies much closer to city on some levels. It is a very nice looking place. You know that it's pretty big. This area is pretty profitable, is the thing. For anybody who knows vaguely anything about this section of the East, which is kind of like right before y'all's knowledge of the East would fade. It's like, yeah, we understand these people. We do trade with them sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
They're
Donna will
almost
have maybe
West,
seen
but
that
not.
name on a paper or two.
Yeah, it doesn't sound out of the ordinary to you, the name, the place. As you approach, couple hours away, you see another cart, kind of similar to the other one that you saw. 2 Jarlsmen on the side, multiple people, handful of axes heading the opposite direction.
This one,
Go ahead.
yeah, this one Roshan would like to stop and ask if they're heading toward anything in particular.
Go ahead and roll persuasion for me if you'd be so kind.
Sure. Would help on that.
I'm helpful.
Is that worth an advantage?
Yeah, where are you going? Yeah.
By the 9 sisters, tell me where you're going.
Oh, please.
A total of 15.
Have a drink. 15?
Yes.
one of the, let's see, we're actually going to see who would like to talk to you, if it's going to be a Jarlsman or if it's just going to be a dude in the back who tries to pipe up. Okay. The Jarlsman kind of glances over and he's like, oh, Jarl's looking for workers up north. Deal with the woods.
The woods.
We've heard that they're still spreading.
He kind of like looks around, just trying to keep it under control. Nothing to worry about. Just need extra hands.
Best of luck.
He nods and then kind of motions for the driver to keep going, and the cart continues to roll forward. Ptolemaeus kind of glances over. And then goes back to his notes. Yes.
No, I was getting focused back on. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, hello. Hello.
I'll just say goodbye.
Goodbye, nerds. But before sunset, you continue forward and eventually arrive in Noansic. You can see from the outside that there are buildings that are, see a couple buildings like, wow, 3 stories, living the dream. All wood floor. Some of the pathways you can see are a bit cobblestoned. At the entrance, you can see there are several wooden spikes, large wooden spikes, go about 10 feet tall, pretty thin. Each of these has a small fire beneath it, and placed around mid-level on each is a head. All of these heads fully disgustingly corrupted. All on these pyres. The fire just enough to like lick at the bottoms of the neck, but not enough to consume the heads fully. Little under a dozen of them set up. And that is what greets you at the front of this town. And you can see quite a familiar head, a very large one, because of its weight, slanted on the pyre at an angle. A large head made of multiple pieces that are stuck together. And stabbed into the side of this head is a twisted wooden stake that you remember watching a woman make a few days ago. This head was brought to you by your mercenary friends that you had met the other day.
Cool.
Sitting on display at the front of this city. And inside, looks like there's not a house touched, no repairs happening, and people going about their business. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. We truly appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story, and sometimes the pumpkin part's very short, and it be like that. But that's okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it's cool. Don't let anybody worry about it. Anywho, thank you all.
I'm very worried about it.
Really appreciate it. On Tuesdays here at the Dice Gold, we have a bunch of other stuff going on. On Tuesdays, we have Legends of Theia, run by our dear companion, Frank. Goes live 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fun dungeon crawl, Hall of the Dead, mushrooms, and plenty of drinks to be had by everybody involved. And so it's just a good time in general if you're looking for something to do on your Tuesday nights. On Wednesday, we have a bi-weekly show that happens, which is normally cordially invited. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we are continuing on this this mini track of
Oops,
our
All
show.
Wizards.
Oops, all wizards.
All Wizards, which is
Very powerful
a
ones.
campaign where a few people are playing some high-level wizards and are getting into shenanigans, and That sounds good enough to me. I just want to play a high level wizard.
Yeah, and
I mean,
Ian is
honestly-
DMing too, so
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's
Dude.
fun all around. That's over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/the Dice Cult. I believe that is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same as over here. So if you want to go check that out, you can also watch all past episodes, including On the Backs of Gods and Cordially Invited over there. And on Saturdays, if you're like, wow, Jillian, boy, I love D&D, enjoyed the week full of D&D, but what if something like Vampire the Masquerade happened on Saturdays? Well, it does. On Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and The Last Remaining Light, which goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Currently, our shenanigan-filled coterie is actually trying their best, 50-50 on how it's going, I think, trying to start a coup. And I feel like we have some powerful people on our side, and maybe we shouldn't text them if we want to communicate with them fully, with the full range of emotions of a vampire. But
Yeah, you should video call with them, obviously.
yeah, we should definitely video chat. So this has left our party split. 2 of them in an area infested with like FBI agents.
Whoops!
And one of the coteries, not very pleasant, very powerful mother, Diana. And I'm sure she's very excited to see us and talk to us. And it's going to be fine, and we're all good here.
Definitely gonna be fine.
Yeah, so if you're
Definitely.
interested in a good and fine conversation with Diana surrounded by FBI agents, please turn in on Saturday. So thank you guys again. If you want to keep up with us in general, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. I talked about the bingo game we're playing. If you go over to our Instagram, you can get like a look at everybody's sheets. And we got a few things marked off today, and also some very nice moments from it, which I think is really fun. So we'll see what happens next because of these sheets. But thank you guys again. We really appreciate it, getting to tell you guys a story. We will be here, same time, same place, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.
And let's raid somebody. Let's raid!
Raid,
Love y'all.
raid, raid,
Raid.
raid, 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 raid.
Tried to jump on